Hey everyone, Ed from New Haven, Connecticut here. Hope everybody is doing well. Wanted to put out a video and show some recent vinyl finds that I've picked up over the past month or so. Sticking to my mantra of $10 or less. I'm always finding some great stuff with sticking to that rule. And actually a couple of these, three of these actually, I got for free. In addition to picking up some stuff, I had a friend of mine who has a multi-family home, getting the house ready to rent out the half of the house, cleaning out the closets, came across a huge stack of vinyl, has no idea how it got there, doesn't know who it belonged to. So she asked me, of course, if I wanted to take a look at it. And of course, I said yes. So a good chunk of it went to Goodwill. Some I got to trade in for a little bit of store credit at my local record shop. But three of them I kept. And one of them I would have bought anyway if I would have seen it out there. So I'll do those freebies first. And pretty much going to go in chronological order with these vinyl finds today. So first up, this is an album by Nancy Pretty called You've Come This Way Before, released in 1968 when I looked it up. Never heard of her before, never seen this before, knew nothing about it. So of course I'm looking at this and it interests me right away. So I'm going to see if there's a name inside that I recognize. And this was actually produced by Phil Ramone, big 70s producer of Billy Joel, Paul Simon, etc., right? So in reading about Nancy Pretty, she was an actress in the 60s. So she appeared on like Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, all that stuff. A lot of LA connections, but also came from a musical background as well. So she put this album together. This was her first LP, I think. Never heard of it before. I think she made a few others. When listening to it, it's very, very California, very, very 1968. This is very light psychedelic pop, chamber pop, Baroque pop. Very, very easy on the ears, a little bit silly at times. The word groovy is said a lot. You get the drift, right? So here's the gatefold here with the lyrics and some photos there. So once again, it's just very simple, pleasant record that really went nowhere. And I guess she made some other records as well. So she's still around and she's appeared on other TV shows as well. The years have gone on. And a couple other fun facts about Nancy Pretty that I read was she also sang backup on Songs for Leonard Cohen, his LP, and she is the mother of actor Christina Applegate. So there you go, Nancy Pretty with You've Come This Way Before from 1968. All right, coming up on 1969, something else I'd never seen before. This is what I thought was the name of the album, but it's the band. The band is called The City, and the title of the album is Now That Everything Has Been Said, or Now That Everything's Been Said, from 1969. Looking at this, never saw it before, but of course I focus here right away. Carole King, right here on the cover. Had no idea she made this record or put this band together and put this out. So, brief history of this, late 60s, divorcing her husband, Jerry Goffin, going to California, Laurel Canyon, the whole bit, and puts a band together and makes a record. So on this LP is Danny Korchmar and Charles Larkey, and doing the drumming is Jim Gordon. So Lou Adler produced on Ode Records. Tony Stern did some of the lyrics as well. And it definitely is Carole King, but it does not sound like Tapestry at all. All the Tapestry players are here, the pieces are here, but this is a record of a full band. Danny Korchmar does some songs on this. And yeah, once again, it's very like late 60s, LA, Laurel Canyon, California kind of style, pop. A couple of Goffin and King songs on here. I Wasn't Born to Follow, which the Byrds covered. Heidi Ho was on here, that Blood, Sweat, and Tears covered. Sank Without a Trace. Nobody knew about it, but like I said, all the pieces were here for Tapestry that came out a couple years later. So the band is The City with Carole King with Now That Everything's Been Said from 1969. And the last freebie that I got, I would have bought this anyway, from 1971. This is Ike and Tina, Nuff Said. Big Ike and Tina fan, and of course this is their peak commercial period. This is the LP that came out after Proud Mary was released, so they're pretty much riding on that wave of popularity. An excellent record. Tina brings the voice, Ike brings the arrangements, and it just comes together great. So a fantastic record, Nuff Said, from Ike and Tina from 1971. If you see any Ike and Tina stuff from that time period, late 60s, early 70s, it's worth checking out and picking up. All right, moving ahead, also from 1971 is Billy Preston, and I Wrote a Simple Song. So this is his first release on A&M. Out of Space was the big hit on this with his run of like phenomenal top 40 singles from the early 70s. This is a great, great record. It's a very cool gatefold, actually. There's Billy in there, and thanking some of the folks who contributed down on the bottom. And this is excellent, 70s soul. It's, it's Billy Preston. So you've got a lot of Hammond organ, you've got some funk, you've got some spiritual stuff on here. There's a lot of big names on this record. Quincy Jones is on this record. George Harrison's playing lead guitar all over this record. You've got the background vocals of Clyde King and Mary Clayton and Patrice Holloway and Vanetta Fields, the core background singers from back in the day. Classic Billy Preston right here with I Wrote a Simple Song from 1971. So good quality too. This is an excellent record. Been playing this a lot. All right, let's move up to 1978, and this is Robert Gordon, his second LP, and this is Fresh Fish Special. So I've got some Robert Gordon on the back wall, right over there. That's his debut. This is the second LP. So once again, very much late 70s, 50s revival stuff. This is him again with Link Wray. Rockabilly, revival, early rock and roll style. All the songs are short, brief, couple originals, some covers on here, and the whole thing is over in like under 30 minutes. Goes by in a blip. He also covers Bruce Springsteen's Fire on here, which I think was he was the first artist to put that out in a version out there for the public. So it almost sounds like a demo, really. It's fast and over within 2 minutes. But this is Robert Gordon with Link Wray and Fresh Fish Special from 1978. If you love that, 50s rockabilly revival stuff, check this out. And check out any of his releases. His debut is right up there on the wall. Excellent stuff. Moving up to 1983, I'm an 80s guy. I finally got this, the Red Rockers with Good as Gold. Of course, if you are a big fan of this type of music, the big hit for them, for lack of a better phrase, is China, still gets played, and the whole LP really sounds like that. So it's just a great sound. 1983, I think these guys were from New Orleans. So the first side plays really well from beginning to end with the title track and a couple other cuts. Runs out of steam on side 2, but definitely this has been a lot of fun to play, and China's a great song, and the title track really chugs along as well. So Red Rockers with Good as Gold from 1983. Next up, Alice in Moye. I got an original hype sticker on here and the original shrink wrap. So surprisingly, all I had from Alice in Moye was a couple of stray 45s, and I think I had this on cassette back in the day. Solo debut, of course, Invisible, Love Resurrection, Honey for the Bees, All Cried Out. Alice in Moye is somebody who's got that great voice, and I don't think she's ever really had the right production or material to kind of get her to that level, but she's huge, and I love her, and this is a great, great record on the cheap, and definitely listenable. I've been playing this a lot. Mired in the 80s sound, of course, but it is, excellent. You can't mistake that voice. Speaking of voices, Nina Hagen with Nina Hagen in Ecstasy, also from 1985. I have a few Nina Hagen releases. This is when she kind of obviously glammed up her image and changed things up. Once again, crazy vocal histrionics all over the place. And you've got to really be into Nina Hagen and that sound to really, really get into it and enjoy it. But it's great. There's some funky new wave synth dance tracks on here, Universal Radio. You've got Prima Nina in Ecstasy. She covers Spirit in the Sky, and she also covers My Way. So take that, Sid Vicious, a great version of My Way on here. So Nina Hagen in Ecstasy from 1985. 1987, I think, right? This is Erasure with The Circus. I was really surprised to see this. I don't see a lot of original Erasure records out there. So once again, Erasure, another band where I've got the greatest hits on CD and maybe a couple of 12 inches that I never play. So this came out in 1987, produced by Flood. And yeah, this really, really holds up. What is on here? It Doesn't Have to Be, Victim of Love, and Sometimes, and Sexuality, and the title track. So this is really, really a great record, much better than I thought. I really, really enjoy it. So there's The Circus from Erasure from 1987. All right, just a few more to go. I wanted to try a little bit sort of ambient, mellow stuff, new wave stuff, kind of relaxing with everything going on lately these days, right? So as a blind buy, literally, I picked up some Kitaro. So this is a Kitaro release called Tenku from 1986. So yeah, I recognize the name. I kind of know what I'm going to get when I listen to this. And to be honest about it, it's fine, but it's more new agey than ambient, if that makes sense. It's synthesizers, a lot of synthesizers, a lot of wind chimes, lots of wind chimes. It's certainly pleasant, lovely background music, but it kind of just wasn't what I was expecting. It's perfectly fine. I'll keep it. I'm not going to buy any more Kitaro. This cost me like $5, but to try something different and just have some mellow, relaxing stuff on in the background, perfectly pleasant, very enjoyable, but more heavy on the synth and less heavy on the ambient, like droning kind of stuff, if that makes any sense. Maybe it doesn't, but that's my description. All right, coming up, two more left. Next up, we have Willie DeVille and Miracle from 1987. I'm a big fan of Willie DeVille, Mink DeVille. This was really his first proper solo LP under his name. The last few Mink DeVille albums were really him with Session Men, so they were solos, but this is from 1987, and look, I've said it before, if you're not familiar with Mink DeVille or Willie DeVille, if you see it, just grab it. If you don't like it, I'll reimburse you, but you're gonna love it. So this came out in 1987, produced by Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits. And what's great about it is that I like Dire Straits, but it doesn't sound like a Dire Straits album. This is a Mink DeVille, Willie DeVille album through and through. Gets off to a bit of a rough start with the first two tracks are not bad. Due to Gun Control, sort of a protest song, it's fine. Does a Van Morrison cover of Could You, Would You, fine. But then the rest of side one and all of side two is what Willie DeVille is all about. Just beautiful melodies, great lyrics, beautiful songwriter. I'm a huge fan, as you can tell. Here's the inner sleeve that came with the lyrics, and here's a little image right here of Willie on the back. And and the last track on this LP is Storybrooke Love, which Rob Reiner likes so much he used for The Princess Bride. So once again, if you're not familiar with him at all, you should be. Willie DeVille and Miracle from 1987. And lastly, I was very psyched to pick this up, also in the shrink wrap. Here is Crowded House, second LP with Temple of Low Men from 1987, with the hype sticker right there. So absolutely great. This is really, really phenomenal. So once again, Crowded House, had a couple of straight 45s. This is the first LP of theirs I've actually ever gotten. And man, it is fantastic, especially side two. It just plays great from beginning to end. Never Be the Same, Love Like This, Sister Madly, where Richard Thompson does some guitar work on that, In the Lowlands, and it ends with Better Be Home Soon. Just a beautiful, beautiful sounding record. Really, really lovely. Here's the inner with the photo of the band with the lyrics on the back. All right, that's it. Those are my vinyl finds that I got over the past month or so. Hope you folks like that. Once again, I appreciate all the likes and the comments and the dialogue, having a good time in the VC, and as always, checking out some new videos and meeting a lot of cool new people as well. So thanks again. Whenever you're watching this, make sure you take care of yourself for the day, for the week, for the weekend. And as always, let's make sure we do this, right? I think I got it right. I'll do it one more time. And there we go. All right, folks, until next time, take care.